Hello everyone, welcome back to Alive City. Now today's lesson will be going to the book of Revelation. Revelation is the last book of the Bible, and our teachers for today will be Mr. Pedro and Mrs. Gina. So here we go with them with the lesson.
Hi guys, we're here again to finish up the last video in this series.
If you remember from last week's video, it ends with the last remaining apostle.
Yes, that last apostle would be John, the disciple whom Jesus loves. At least that's how John liked to refer to himself.
This next video goes into the end of time, where the apostle John finds himself in exile on the island of Patmos. He was sent there away to live out his days alone. But as you and I know, we are never alone. On this island, he is given great visions from the Lord of what the end of days will be.
He is asked of the Lord to write letters to the 7 churches of his day, and these letters are to our benefit as well. He's also given a vision of heaven.
Let's take a look at the video, and we'll be right back.
John, one of the last living disciples that walked with Jesus, was living in exile on an island called Patmos. One day, God gave him a vision, commanding him to write letters to 7 different churches. John also saw a series of mysterious and symbolic scenes. He saw a door open into heaven, and he was swept up into it. He saw a throne with someone sitting on it. In front of the throne, he saw a lamb looking as if it had been killed. Lightning flashed from the throne and thunder clapped. People and creatures surrounding the throne all fell down and worshipped the lamb. And thousands of angels circled the throne and said in a loud voice, "Worthy is the lamb who was slain." Every creature in heaven and on earth gave praise to the lamb and to the one seated on the throne. Next, John saw every person who ever lived standing in front of the throne. A book called the Book of Life opened up. Anyone whose name was not in the Book of Life was thrown into a lake of fire. But for all those whose names were there, something amazing awaited. John saw a bright and shining city descend from the sky. A loud voice told him this was where all of God's people will live and that God will live there among them forever. God will wipe away every tear and there will be no more death, crying, or pain. A river as clear as crystal flowed from the throne of God through the middle of this great city. Next to the river stood the tree of life, which healed the world from every wrong, making all things perfect. Then Jesus himself, standing with John, said, "Come, let those who are thirsty come. Let all who wish take a free gift of the water of life."
Wow, that was a pretty incredible video, and I'm so excited about the day where John describes that there are so many people around the throne of every tribe and language that no one can number.
Yes, can you imagine that beautiful city where we can live with Jesus forever? It also mentions the tree of life. If you recall, in the beginning and book of Genesis, there were 2 trees in the Garden of Eden. But in this new city, there is only one, the tree of life, that will bear fruit, and its leaves are for the healing of all nations.
And in this new garden, there will be no more sorrow, no more death, and the Lord will wipe away every tear. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last.
The book of Revelation is not meant to be feared. Even in times that we're experiencing now may seem difficult. Our way of life has changed, but the book of Revelation holds great truths and promises. So when things may be uncertain, we know that God is with us.
So if the coronavirus has taught us anything, it is that we should use our time wisely and have a greater appreciation for those around us.
We're praying God's peace and love over you and your entire family.
Until we see y'all guys, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pedro and Mrs. Gina, for that awesome word. Now, before we let you go, this is something I want to share with you. May 31st is the day of Pentecost. The day of Pentecost is when Peter and his disciples were in the upper room and they experienced the Holy Spirit movement. Now, that was 2,000 years ago, and God is still pouring out His Holy Spirit onto everyone, and I just can't wait to see what God is going to do now. Even though we're in hard times, now is the best time that God could show out what He could do. And one more thing before I let you go, that this will be our last Alive City video, so that we will be doing. And so I guess I'll see you when we see you. So thanks for watching and take care. Thank you. Bye.